Hello, have we got anybody joining us? Good morning. Another week doing tarot, so let's have a little look and see if we've got some comments coming in and anybody joining us. Please do say good morning. I'm here, as in, and it'd be lovely to see you all joining in with our tarot tuition. So we're continuing with the minor cards and the cup family, and at the moment we're going to be looking at Six of Cups, which just trying to get your messages in. Sorry, I had that all set up and now it's a little bit on the corner of my screen. So there we go, that's a lot better. Okay, so yes, we are now in a position of going into the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups talks about a card of the past. So it's all about nostalgia and it's all about reminiscing. So always a past going on with the Six of Cups. Another card of the past is the Hermit. Another card of the past is the Three of Swords. So when you're looking for things and you are looking at somebody coming back from the past, Six of Cups is a very good card to actually look at and see what the Hermit's doing and seeing what the Three of Swords is doing, if of course it's in your spread and you've pulled those cards. Where is it? What's beside it? What's going on here? So a real card of the past and nostalgia, but it's also a card of saying sorry, reconciliation. And if you look at the characters there, you can kind of see that you've got somebody giving a gift to the other person in the actual picture here. And so it's a token, I'm sorry, here you are. Here's a token of the acknowledgement of my apology. So Six of Cups is reconciliation, memories from the past. So this can be a lot of nostalgia going around when this card is pulled. Maybe somebody's looking at the past and how it used to be with their work, people that they worked with, fond memories, always usually happier times. It's not really a time of being upset about things, unless of course you can see they're a bit lonely, missing their family. And that can be to do with the fact that people have moved on, homesickness. You sometimes see this when people have gone off to university, where they've flown the nest, and that's for the child and the parents. So it's that kind of feel to it. I miss you, oh gosh, you're back, I'm lonely and I'm reminiscing. And gosh, I want to say sorry, I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be like it used to be. I've got happy times in mind. So this is the Six of Cups. Very much looking at happier times. So I've put in there that they may even wish to crave their childhood back, reminiscing, family times, better times, happier times, and a little bit of homesickness, or I am truly sorry. So it's a lovely card really, in the sense of lets you know it's all about the emotions and it's all about connecting with something that's happened in the past, emotionally for that person, that brings those emotions to the surface and causes them to want to connect with somebody from the past. Please excuse me. Sorry about that. I was trying to stifle that. So, great card. I really like this card when it comes up, and it's always something where you could hear from somebody from the past again, somebody reaching out to you from the past. There's a lot of things that it can actually imply. So, great card. Let's move to the next card, and that's Seven of Cups. Okay. Just wondering if anybody wants to say good morning. You can type a message to me. It'd be lovely to see you all. I think we've got about 4 watching us live at the moment, which is wonderful. I know a lot of you watch these later. Don't forget to download your files and do be aware that you can go right back and watch all of the videos, either in Talk Tarot page or even Tarot with Anne-Marie on Facebook, or on the YouTube channel in the lives, or even in the video playlists, Tarot Tuition. So, Seven of Cups, emotional confusion. So as you can see in the card here, we've got somebody that, like a shadow figure, standing there. And all these cups represent complicated or confusing abundance of too many emotions. Too many emotions. And they signify, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, and what about this, and what about that? And it can be overwhelming, okay? It can actually mean that you're not able to fire on all cylinders. You can't see straight, you've got a scattered sort of focus because of all your feelings being absolutely everywhere, up in the air, this way, that way, sideways. Can feel as if there's a lot of paranoia going on. I'm thinking this, and what about that person? And they may feel this, and they're not going to like it, and I've got to do this. It's all like that. So there's a need to clear the clutter. It can be quite a negative time for that person. So, it's a feeling of being absolutely overwhelmed, too much happening. It can be a sign of mental illness, but again, I've said to you, you need to be incredibly careful that you keep some things to yourself that you see in the cards. It's not about holding back from the client. You can't go wading in and going, oh yeah, they're definitely ill. No. If they have told you that that person is suffering mental illness, then you can say, that makes perfect sense. I have the Seven of Cups here. It also means emotional confusion and scattered focus. There's a need when we see this card to clear the clutter emotionally, to deal with that. There's a lot of illusions and delusions going on, and things aren't quite right here. The imagination can be well and truly out of hand, and things are feeling as if that person's a shadow of themselves because they are totally overwhelmed by their feelings. Remember, cups are feelings. It's nothing to do with their actions. It's all to do with one's feelings. It's a card that sometimes can pop in and you think, oh crikey, I'm stuck with this. Not at all. Sometimes we can be overwhelmed for an hour, a few minutes, a day, a week. Sometimes it can be longer, of course, but it doesn't mean you're stuck with that. We can all shift and change. Everything's moving, everything's changing. But sometimes people can come into this cycle where the Seven of Cups just keeps repeating itself, a bit like a loop that's stuck. So you'd look for the other cards to kind of see when the changes may actually occur and when that is likely to happen. Okay, in Advanced Tarot School, we'll be able to look at timing. We'll be able to look at two different types of timing. One will be what the cards are saying on the timing. So, what if we're getting days, and what if we're getting weeks, and what if we're getting months, and what if we're getting seasons, maybe even years, or there is no timing. It's an open timing. It's yet to be revealed as to when the outcome of that actually is. So they're the kind of things I'll be covering in advanced and intermediate. And intermediate is you'll be getting so much information. The advanced is more to do with let's practice everything that I've thrown at you and give you a chance to be able to process it all, practice it all, and work, with either students or people that want free readings, which we can do for you. We can have the public come in and we can do some Q&A. What does this mean? I'll be guiding you all the way, by the way. So some exciting times ahead there for things that I know you just love it. And don't be worried, you can always look at your notes, you can always turn on. It's not about getting it right, it's actually about you feeling that you're having a good go at it. Even if you learn just one key point, much better to know one key point about each individual card and work with that, get used to that, and then bring in all the other bits and pieces that are really important and help you feel that you know a little bit, just a little bit, about the card that you have. So 7 of Cups there. Always good to think of a time in your own life, maybe it affected you, or maybe it affected somebody that you know, and you could say, gosh, that was definitely when they were going through the 7 of Cups. Or, when I left home, I remember feeling 6 of Cups. I was homesick, missed my parents, I missed my home. And although I was really happy with my life, I still have this gnawing feeling of need to go back home, need to reconnect with my folks, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's 7 of Cups. Right, let's take a little sip of my coffee, please excuse me. Very dry here, fans running, aircon running, all sorts of things going on because it's so hot. It's August here where I live. It's August for you, of course. Where I live, we were up to 49 degrees Celsius, ridiculous heat when we got in the car the other day. And even when we got going with the aircon on and we'd done some miles, it was still about 38. So you can imagine it really is hot. So that's actually having a little effect upon the fact that I'm very, very dry in my throat, so my apologies. So, 8 of Cups. Now, the 8 of Cups, if you look there, you can see a character walking away from all these cups that are lined up. The cups are representing emotions, and you can see the moon there, and you can see the fact that there are mountains and a bit of water there. So the cups are the emotions. The mountain is perhaps the problems that are needing to be faced, the challenges that surround that person, and they're walking away temporarily. Now, when you see this card, if you look at the fact that we've got that moon up there in the sky represented, it is to do with 28 days in the lunar cycle of a month, saying that that person needs at least a month in order to be able to go away from what they love and care about, which is those emotions, and they need to come back to those that they love and care for, or the things they love and care for. It's neither here nor there. You would find that information in the rest of the spread. So they are moving away through their experience, and it's saying now is the time to do it. It's leaving behind that emotional gap in your life, abandoning what your life is and what you love and care for. So it's not, I'm walking away because I don't care about you. It's walking away, I do care about you, but I have got to do my own thing. It's time for me to face what I need to face. It's a step to moving on, and within a month, new things will happen. And that is that moon that's sitting in the sky there that tells you that. It does take a lot of courage. It takes that person to need to be very brave in order to be able to do what is necessary. And the bravery and courage is needed for that person to be strong, to be willful. Maybe I love you, but I don't like you, and I've got to go. I've got to go for a month and see how I'll be, and see if maybe I can heal, see if maybe this will repair the situation, or I love you and I'm coming back and I need to go off and do my own project or do my own thing. Many, many things, many, many reasons. You can't just say I'm walking away because things aren't right with the person that they love and care about. It can be much more complicated than that. And you would find that out with the other cards that's in the spread. And of course, it's Pair. What is the major card that goes with this? If you had something like the Hierophant, that could represent walking away from their responsibilities, maybe their finances, because the Hierophant relates to Taurus, red tape, even a marriage, remember it's a contract of marriage, walking away from contracts, all sorts of things that it could actually represent. So you can't just look at things and kind of go, it's only that. You know, when you know what that means, then the part and the magic of actually being able to read your tarot is very much about how to use your intuition to interpret. Because the cards are right, sometimes the interpretation isn't. And that takes an acquired skill. And people will forgive you, especially if you are practicing, you know, thrust, you know, your readings. Would anybody like a reading? You know, here you go, I want to practice. Half the time you will find that when you are offering, you know, to read for somebody, that you know them and you really kind of can see how the cards fit together. That's really good. You know, and then go, oh gosh, I knew that anyway. Don't worry about it. It's confirmation for you to be able to say, I can see how that actually applies. Those readings are really good. The trouble is that you may feel a little deflated because that person didn't necessarily want to read it and they're just trying to please you because you won't leave off. Keep going. You know, I urge you to try and convince them so that you can practice. And then when you read for somebody who truly wants to read and is truly searching for the answers and you're feeling a bit nervous, just tell them, I knew it was. These are the cards I've got. I feel it could be this. I feel it could be that. What do you think? And if you don't charge them and you are just practicing, I'm sure they will be more than happy and delighted to actually have your very kind offer of looking at the cards for them. There's lots of sites out there on Facebook now, which is fabulous, where people are practicing and saying, please, could I draw a card for anybody who's interested? I want to practice. So that's what I'm talking about. You know, it's always good to practice on those that don't perhaps value what it is you're giving them, because if you know them a little bit, you can see, gosh, so-and-so walked away, you know, they had to go and work abroad, or they had to go and work further afield, or, you know, they had to move on, it wasn't working out in the relationship, you know, they were tearing each other apart, or they really love each other, but they're faced with so many obstacles, or that person just needed a break, you know, so it's like we're on a break. When are they going to be back? You need to look at the other cards, you see. Okay, so Eight of Cups. You must leave behind those that you love and care for. So it's never a case of I don't care about you. That's the main thing I would say to realise with this card. Sometimes you just can't be with that person for whatever reason. Okay, it's much more like that. Okay, any messages? Hello, anybody going to type in and give me a message? Just wondering. Anybody coming up with a message here? I'm just giving it a moment because I'm not getting any of your messages. Sorry about that. I really don't know why. Okay. Let's just have a look. Just give me a minute, folks. Okay. It's taking a moment just to see if anybody wants to type anything in. Really lovely if you do. Okay. Just updating, just in case you are talking to me and I'm not getting your message. Yeah, seems like everything is okay, but I'm just not getting anybody wanting to talk this morning. Okay, not a problem. Just in case you're struggling with anything, please do feel free to type in a question, or you can say good morning. It's not really about chatting if you don't want to. I understand, trying to follow along. Don't forget to download your files from this live, because they are exactly as I'm presenting the slides. So, you know, you are getting the picture of the card, you're getting key points, you're also getting references there to the things that matter. And for your information, you've got my tarot logo. If you want a full reading with me, please do book with me on the website. You can contact me in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I've been on the platform of Instagram quite recently, and I must say, having an absolutely marvellous time. Very different for me to go on that platform. I've done loads of Facebook, I've done quite a lot of YouTube, so to explore Instagram was great. Twitter's a bit different, isn't it? It's not really like, it's just messages really, written text, etc., which is great. We use that, but not quite the thing to be able to see. And I think visual and audio is very, very powerful. And you can download the video even on Facebook if you want to watch it, keep it, whatever. When I was learning anything, whether it was this or my career previously as an instructor, it was very much a case of if I needed to try and retain things, I would record myself. Back then, training in those bits and pieces, it was not as easy as grabbing your phone. I can assure you, I had a little mini dictaphone, and just record your own voice of the things that you want to listen to again and again. So it goes in, and then I would play that just sort of, an hour before bedtime, go to bed a bit earlier, just listen to it, and then fall asleep. And then I would feel that the next morning some of that had gone in. And I'd do that over and over and over. And that's really how I actually learned anything. It's just what works for me. Visual, YouTube's fabulous, just an incredible platform to find out any research or information. So here we go with our next card, 9 of Cups. What a great card, look at that. Okay, a good card. This is a card of personal wishes. I'm wishing for this is what I want to happen. So it's very much a card of the future, okay, what you're wishing to happen. Whereas 6 of Cups, nostalgia, the past, okay. Personal happiness, the things that make you truly happy. And there he is sat there looking rather good, rather dapper there with his hat on. And, all those colours, they are there for a reason. Every part of your card will tell you the colours and what's the meaning of those colours, or represents the chakras, you see. And that's where we'll be covering all this kind of thing when we go into intermediate and into advanced. So a lot more depth going on. So for now, let's just look at all that yellow sunshine and go happy, 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 golden colours. It's the happiness inside all of us, the solar plexus sort of side of things. It's actually going, there's joy in my heart. So very much happiness and contentment. And this is somebody that's going, look at me, I'm healthy and I've got enough wealth for all my needs. And wealth is an abundance, it's not always a material thing. And we're talking emotional abundance and wealth and healthiness. I am happy, and I'll be happier when we, navigate our way to do something that I'm wishing for, and that can be a holiday, a project, development of the relationship, expansion of your business, expansion of your family, those kind of things, and a curiosity to want to know more about one's life in the personal. So it's very much a personal thing. This person wants to be successful, and this person wants to be happy. But sometimes there's a feeling of being faced with a little bit too much excess. So if you look at that fellow sitting there, he's a little bit rotund, and it sort of says, hang on a minute, have you been overindulging in what you eat, what you drink, how much you're spending, what's going on in life, are you expecting too much? Maybe there's too much excess, too much clutter emotionally. Maybe they are able to kind of go, my goodness me, I'm looking for this and this and this, and I want that and that and that. And it's like, slow down. You need to, what you're wishing for is great, but one step at a time, please. So that is very much the 9 of Cups. very happy card, very, very thrilling, something that's just really in a great place and in a great space. So that person can actually sometimes just be taking things where a little bit too much excess of everything is kind of going on. So please do know that on the whole, this is a really happy and lovely card. And it's a card of wishing. So you'd be looking at the rest of the cards to see whether that actually becomes fulfilled, you know, what they're wishing for and their personal happiness. How are they on their journey in navigating the actions they need to take in order to manifest that and make that happen into a reality. Okay, so we move to be with you in a moment. It's all very well using a camera that is marvellous, but the settings on it are really annoying because although you set it to not time out, it just bounces back to 30 minutes. And of course, I do need to warm up on my camera before I begin. So, sorry, it's just a little better camera image most of the time, a bit blurry today. Sorry, folks, but normally I like to use my GoPro camera for this. And I think also the fan can sometimes actually, it gets very hot. So perhaps not as sharp an image as it could be. So I'm going to move on to the next one. So sorry about me jumping up there and it going black. I'm still with you. The joys of going live. Oh, crikey, no matter what plans I make, it sometimes just always causes you a little bit of anxiety. But if you get used to the fact that it will time out in 30 minutes, and I've done my research to try and change it, but it seems the version I've got, it's nobody's been that lucky to even get 30 minutes, so I'm pleased for that. Okay, 10 of Cups. Okay, beautiful, beautiful card. How lovely is this card? I'm hoping you can all really hear me still, and that everything is loud enough and you've got the volume just fine. So, what are we looking at here? Well, big rainbow, happy family, you know, a couple embracing each other, and children playing, and a home there, and looking and going, my goodness, look at what we can see, you know. And again, the colours, the chakra colours, the support from the universe with the green, you know, the yellow with the happiness, the signal of power and confidence and strength there with the red roofs. So many things going on there, gorgeous. So this is a card sometimes that represents marriage. Now remember, tarot is old-fashioned. Marriage was all it used to be about. But these days, you can be in a marriage where people live together. They don't necessarily have to go and get married officially. So it can be living together, card of marriage, strong relationship, a large group such as that of a family. Now this comes up for me, but I'm not married, even though we have been together, gosh, next month I think it's 31 years. So yeah, strong relationship. And I don't have children, but we have our family, and that is the people in our family and our animals. So it's one of the real sort of positive cards in the pack. And when you see this, it's just wonderful. It just represents, you know, bliss and happiness within your family circle. And your family is not necessarily mum, dad, brother, sister, although it can be. It can be, you know, you can have a family because you've got friends and you look upon them as family. You know, some of the dearest people in our life, you know, are friends, not necessarily. So it's family as in how those gathering of your pack. And I like to say that because we can be in a pack. We can be in a community, you know, it can be in a family circle, we can be in relationships with those that we adore, those that we love and care about. And cozy, dreamy, happy, successful relationships. Happiness, fulfillment of a relationship, usually with children, animals, and a nice home. And so the rainbow is, wow, over the rainbow, there's the happiness, there's the perfect idyllic setting. So that brings us to the end of Tarot Tuition today. Thank you for watching, and I do hope that you are finding this simple and easy to follow. Key points: practice and do what you can. The most important thing to remember is, if you go back to the worksheets, that at the beginning your major cards are all the events of things that happen in one's life. Everything like the Fool has a beginning and it goes on and evolves through one's life. We all kind of get good ideas, like the Magician. We're able to communicate, we're all able to be physically strong at some point, whether that is in our emotions or our actions, like the Strength card, and. So that's the journey of the things that happen. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and a completion, perhaps an ending. A transformation, like the Death card, and. But your minor cards are all to do with the background effects that's going on. Is it the thought process? Is it the emotions, as we are dealing with the cups? Is it the actions, which is going to be covered when we start looking at the wands? Is it the material manifestation and products, like it is with the Pentacle family? So, from me to you, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my website and share. And I'd also like to see you joining me for some videos and some more videos that I'm going to be making on lives when I'm doing Instagram. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com Tarot with Anne-Marie. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.